Local star running back Jordan Canzeri drops by to our studios here on 104.5 Team ESPN Radio. Lots going on with Jordan and his football career, and joins us here for a few minutes. Good morning, Jordan. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. We appreciate a few minutes. Before we get into everything you got going on, what did you think of the national championship game last night between Alabama and Georgia? Man, some of those true freshmen are pretty good, huh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They definitely showed that they can play, and it was a tough, close game. That's what everyone expected it to be, but the finish was definitely a good one.
What is it like playing as a true freshman? Because you did, right? At Iowa, didn't you play several games as a true freshman?
Yeah. For running back wise, I got a couple handoffs in games, and when you first step out on that field, you feel like the bleachers are just like coming over on top of you. But when my last game against Oklahoma in the Inside Bowl, when I was given the starting position, I remember I couldn't even feel my body the first time my coach said that to me. So, it was an awesome experience, but, yeah, it's definitely nerve-wracking.
Yeah, so when you see the freshman quarterback last night from Alabama comes in the second half and does what he does, and the composure that he had, that had to be impressive.
Oh, yeah. being down 13 and then coming in as a freshman, having all that on your shoulders and the way that he played and finished the game and won, for a guy that young, it's definitely awesome to see.
Jordan, obviously, we've got you in studio here this morning because of your experience in Japan. I know we want to talk to you about that. And you're going to try out for this Albany Arena Football League team, which we still don't know the name yet, but we're going to figure it out soon. Maybe Jordan's our guy on the inside.
You know the name. You know the name. Go ahead, throw it out.
I think it's the Phoenix.
I think you're right.
But I don't know.
No. You had inside info on this a long time ago. And and we're not going to roll him under the bus.
Right.
But the person who gave you the inside information a long time ago, I think probably knows.
We are hearing that artwork has already been drafted and all that stuff for the Phoenix.
So Phoenix,
you know
sense. What? Let's just go ahead this morning and call it the Albany Phoenix.
And when we're wrong,
we'll say we're wrong.
Okay, sounds good.
So you're going to play for the new Arena League team. It's called the Albany Phoenix here in the Capital Region at the end of March.
Now you've never been to an arena football. Well, I shouldn't say that. You didn't go to a Firebirds game because you were way too young.
Yeah.
You're fresh out of Iowa, really. Still, have you ever been to an Arena Football League game before?
Yeah.
Okay.
We had a team right in Cedar Rapids, the Titans, and I had a couple of my players from Iowa that I played with go up and play there, and then even a player that I played with for I think about 2 years, Marvin McNutt. I'm pretty sure he's coaching it right now. So that was just cool just to go up there and see some guys that you knew and everything. But yeah, so I definitely had a feel. Oh yeah.
Okay, so what do they tell you? What do they tell you about playing where the sideline is walls and it's a 50-yard field and you can catch it off the net and all this stuff?
I've watched a bunch of games, just obviously trying to catch up and see the rules and everything. And it's just insane to see. It's really exciting too. And you can tell why fans love it because it's just so high scoring. So many big plays and big hits and everything too, guys getting smacked off the wall and everything. And so, it's definitely something that I'm excited to be able to participate in, hopefully.
You could have gone back to Japan, right? They wanted you back there, but you just kind of feel like you want to stay in the 518 a little bit, get a chance for your family, friends, fans to see you play, and then just to be here in Albany.
Yeah, I love Japan, and the experience there was awesome. And then even being out there with guys that I knew, Sean Draper, who graduated with me at Iowa, and then Wade Hansen, playing Pop Warner football with him all the way out now in Japan. It was a really cool experience, and I loved it out there. But, the opportunity, they want me to come back, and that's still up in the air if things fall through here. But I would obviously just love to be able to be home and play for my city again and be around family and friends, and then hopefully just continue to, keep working and striving, and hopefully this could be a stepping stone into getting another try in the NFL. So.
They don't run the ball a lot in the Arena League. Have you thought about that and how you'd have to kind of transition and adapt your game a little bit? Can you play DB?
Yeah, when I spoke to the coaches, I told them running back and slot receiver, because even when I went to some of the NFL camps, I was going out in slot. And at first, they're like, okay, slot receiver. I was like, being doubted again. But when I actually watched the film and game, it's like it's a fourth lineman, and it's like a lot more pass. So, that's something that I'm actually really excited for, because it's just another thing I can add to the resume and add to my game, is being able to focus on that now and focus on my routes and show that I could be more versatile. And, that's something that I'm actually looking forward to prove.
Have you met Rob Keefe yet?
Yeah, I went to the.
He's the head
opening
coach,
thing.
by the way, and he's a ball of energy.
Oh yeah, I loved him, and I even watched some of the games when he was coaching, and you could just tell his enthusiasm, and
He's
even in
gotta
the
be a
locker
little bit
room.
different
And
than Ferentz.
yeah, he's got a lot of energy. Coach Ferentz, he'll definitely get brought out in some points in the game, but a little more laid back. But I mean, yeah, talk to him. He's a great guy, and really excited to show him what I got, and talk to some of the other staff too at the opening event in the Times Union. So really, really excited for this opportunity.
Was your senior year at Iowa the best one? You guys went, what? Did you start 12-0?
Yeah, regular
and
season.
You had a
12-0.
258-yard game. Was that was senior year against Illinois?
Yep, yeah. So, I mean, that was the thing that it definitely was tough going into, the NFL draft with having 2 high ankle sprains. But, I mean, the season was going super well, and that was something that was really tough that I felt that some teams didn't really notice that, yeah, I'd had 2 high ankle sprains, and I missed 4 games pretty much, and I'd still ended up with 980. And so before I even got injured, I was doing super well, and even better than I thought, actually. So I was really excited, really happy. But, when you get injured, you just got to keep that mindset to be positive and just try to come back stronger and faster. So I didn't let it weigh down on me too hard. But, no, the season was awesome. The guys that I was with were great. Being able to go 12-0 first time in school history, and then opportunity to play in the Rose Bowl was
awesome. And you still rushed for over 2,000 yards, right? Your career? That's like 13th on the all-time list at Iowa. Mm-hmm. So you're a star at Iowa.
Oh, yeah.
Then you go back there, you're the man.
And then that Illinois game, I think it was
You carried it 100 times,
It was like 43 carries in the game, school record. And
Source you've ever been the next day?
I remember
just give him the ball.
Our next practice, Cowboys scout came up to me. He's like, 43 carries, huh? You sore? And I was like, no, surprisingly, I'm actually not. And he was like, oh, well, we'll keep it up. And so that was obviously cool just to be able to be a part of that. But, yeah, that game was definitely cool, and had a lot of family and friends come to that game. So it was awesome.
You said doubted again, and I know you were kind of jokingly when the Albany Arena team was like, oh, okay, slot receiver. But I think, Jordan, this is right. I think it was my first year in the market, and obviously I'd never covered Albany area sports before, but you were in your senior year at Troy. And you had committed to Villanova, right? Mm-hmm. You had already committed to Villanova. And then when you had a great state tournament run, obviously, with Troy, and some bigger schools came calling, and I thought, how is this kid going to play Big Ten football at his size? So, yeah, you've been doubted many times before in your life and your career, mm-hmm. I'm sure. What has that done? And it clearly still sticks with you a little bit, that it drives you.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the thing that I'm trying to, for kids around here, just to get them on that mentality, is you can easily take that 2 ways. You can accept it and believe it, and then just give in. But I was always just saying, all right, I'm just have another person to prove wrong. And that was just motivation. And I loved hearing it, actually. And for me too, and when going to Iowa, I had people telling me, well, I mean, yeah, if you go there, you'll probably only play your senior year. And that just motivated me even more. And
because you were with Villanova, right?
Yeah,
or you give a verbal commit to Villanova.
Yeah, and I mean, I felt bad, so terrible, just for taking the opportunity to go to Iowa and saying no to them.
You had to.
Well, that was a no-brainer.
Everybody understands that.
With all due respect to Villanova, right. You were going to Iowa.
Yeah.
So,
and I know it happened with another cornerback, Greg Castillo, and then Mike Daniels with the Packers right now. So they weren't too happy to lose their third guy to Iowa. But, yeah, I mean, I was just blessed to get that opportunity, and then to be able to play freshman year and everything. That was awesome. But, yeah, I just remember in high school I'd always have, like, D3 and D2 schools coming in looking at me saying you're too small. But Iowa, they took the chance on me. And the strength staff, Coach Doyle, he knows what he's doing. And they would tell us, they're like, yeah, we want to see that you got the ability and the talent, but we know we can put the weight on you. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what they did, and they've done it for so many others. And, so it's definitely awesome to be in a program like that.
Because you're talking about somebody who rushed for over 2,000 yards his senior year at Troy, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
you had 33 touchdowns that year.
Definitely had a good O-line running behind. And Coach
goodness.
Berger was obviously a great coach to have, too. But, yeah, that was an awesome experience, too, just to be with those guys and still super close with them.
Who's a better running back, you or Ward?
I mean, I was watching him. I mean, I really like that. He has a little tendencies like he's really patient in the hole too, and that's something that I really like to see.
That's the whole Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah, Le'Veon
right?
Bell. Yeah.
I mean,
oh yeah. So I was really, really happy to see his success, and that was something I always told younger guys underneath me coming in Troy. I'm like, hey, like, yeah, having these records at Troy, I want someone to beat those records. I want someone to obviously get an opportunity to go to another big school too, and just put Troy on the map. And we have a lot of good athletes from this season, and that's something that just really happy to see, and hopefully they can go to some good schools.
If I had a record, I'd root against anybody trying to beat it. Just so you know, I'd be like, I hope he gets tackled behind the line of scrimmage 5 times.
So you couldn't beat Jalen Hurts last night.
No,
I don't know that I
could have been Hurts
either.
last night.
Yeah, I mean, that would have been
down
tough.
deep. He has to be struggling with that whole decision. I'd be surprised if he's with that team next year. Somebody's going to scoop him up if Tua is going to be the guy moving forward. And you had chances, right? You did have three tryouts: Kansas City, Cleveland, and the Rams. How were you close to any of those?
I would say when I was in the Kansas City and the Cleveland Browns camp, they were more so just needing running backs. Like they wanted to find reserve players because they had a full roster. But I mean, they both told me that I did really good, and I was really happy with the job that I did watching the film and everything. But you can only do so much.
So hard to make it, right?
Yeah,
so hard.
But the LA Rams, when I went and worked out there, I injured my hand, and just like they just didn't want to take somebody that they weren't so sure on, and they were like, well, the doctor, we don't know how long it will take to clear you, so we need someone we can take right away. And I thought I performed really well at that camp too, and they called my agent right away after I was finished, before I even got back to my room, and told him that I did a good job. So that was cool. Obviously,
Do you think NFL anymore at all?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, because you could parlay an arena. Is that why you're still doing this? Because you still want maybe one more chance to get to the NFL?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, even going to Japan, I had to change my mindset a bit, because my first season going out there, I was just like, I shouldn't be here. I should be in the league. And I didn't really fully grasp onto the experience. I should have just worked hard there and enjoyed where I was, rather than being like, oh, I should be here, I should be there. But this second season out there, still working and striving to, have a good season here, and just make myself a better player, just to still have the high hopes for the NFL some point. But this past season in Japan definitely went a lot smoother, and just changing that mindset and everything. And then coming back home, again, I'd love to be able to play on this team and play in front of my family and friends from my home city. But even like I said with the coach, that my dream is still the NFL, and I'm still pushing for that.
And they know that, right?
Yeah.
You're in the Arena League. A lot of those guys, that's
right.
the dream.
Who got more weird looks, you or Wade Hansen over in Japan?
Definitely Wade.
I mean, Wade is a big dude.
Yeah, they're looking up at him.
Beard.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it was fun and he just makes me look so much smaller, too. So walking around with him all the time, it was just always so fun to see the looks we'd get. And a bunch of people coming up and just saying how cool we look, taking pictures with us.
Are they football fans?
Surprisingly, there's more than I thought there'd be. They're really big on baseball and soccer. Sure. But I went to one baseball game, and it was insane. I thought here we were crazy fans, but it is
Japan's
out of
really
this world.
over the top.
Oh yeah, but we had a lot of fans, and some of our bigger games we had to play in the domes and baseball fields that were converted. But I mean, it was still really awesome.
Cool.
They're really exciting fans.
Hey, before we let you go, we're talking about Jordan Canzeri, our local running back star from Troy to Iowa, Japan. We hope Arena Football League right here in the capital region. You have a one-day camp coming up on January 15th. That's Martin Luther King Day on Monday, right?
Yep.
At the Sportsplex in Half Moon from 2 to 4:30. I'll let you run with that from there.
Yeah, so just charging $30 for it, and we're doing ages 11 and up. But I just really want to be able to use it as a start for a platform for me, just being in the area and helping kids reach that next level and show them all these little details. Yeah, there's the lifting, there's the running, the conditioning, but there's so many drills with focusing on the little things that I'm not so sure that some kids realize that can just make their gameplay completely change and make them so much better players. So I just really want to be able to do that, help people around the area, but then also want to use it as for anybody who else wants to do the tryout for the arena team, that, having to run your 40 and having to run your pro agility in front of the coaches and get those times, I'm going to be showing different drills to get, better start, better running mechanics for your 40, get better times, better cuts, making sure that you're, changing direction on a direct line and not, going too far out, and, all those little teeny details that can really help you perform better. So all older people too, like I said, ages 11 and up, but we'll have an older adult group too, just to, again, for anybody looking to do that tryout, I would be able to help them out too and get people on an equal playing field.
And you don't have to be a running back. I mean,
no.
Stuff like this
Football,
applies
right?
to any position.
Football.
Just be a football player. PremierIndoorTackle.com. You'll find details there. You can sign up there as well. As Jordan said, $30 for the session.
Can you just show up too?
Yeah. If
you
you
have to
can't sign
up?
in online,
You just show up day of and go,
Yeah,
here's my $30, here's my kid?
yeah, we'll have a sign up too. So signing up online would be better just to be able to get the numbers and everything down. But yeah, if you aren't able to, you can just come in and bring the money, and we'll have a form to sign and everything. But yeah, really excited for the day, and hope for it to be a good turnout. Just again, what I want to show everybody, all it's going to do is make you a better athlete.
Yeah,
so
and who better to learn from than you, huh?
Yeah.
Jordan Canzeri, one of our great local athletes here, and it's Monday, Martin Luther King Day, January 15th, 2 to 4:30 at Sportsplex in Half Moon, and good catching up with you, Jordan.
Thanks again for having me.
And hopefully we'll talk to you when you are in the Albany Phoenix uniform, because that's going to be the name of the Arena Football League team. Jordan, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Jordan Canzeri from Troy with us here on Big Board Sports, 104.5 at Team ESPN Radio.